Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is a controversial masterpiece, often seen as a cynical guide to manipulation. While Greene presents these laws as observations of historical power dynamics, many can be interpreted and utilized in ways that are profoundly dark, morally ambiguous, deceptive, and ruthlessly effective. Genius individuals, those who possess a keen understanding of human psychology and a strategic mindset, can wield these particular laws to outmaneuver, control, and ultimately outsmart those around them. Here are 15 of the darkest laws from this framework, often employed by such individuals. Before diving in, it's crucial to understand that genius here doesn't necessarily equate to benevolent intelligence. Instead, it refers to a masterful, often Machiavellian, ability to navigate and manipulate social structures. These individuals recognize that human beings are driven by emotions, insecurities, and predictable patterns. They exploit these truths not for enlightenment, but for advantage. The darkness lies in the conscious leveraging of others' weaknesses and the often callous disregard for conventional ethics in pursuit of an objective. These laws aren't just about winning. They're about dominating the psychological landscape. The 15 darkest laws genius people use to outsmart everyone. 1. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. The dark core. This law thrives on deception. By keeping people off balance and unsure of your true goals, you prevent them from preparing defenses or counterattacks. It's about creating a smokescreen. How genius people use it. They project an image or a decoy objective that is plausible yet misleading. While others focus on the apparent, the genius strategist is moving pieces on a different board entirely. They might feign disinterest in what they truly desire or express enthusiasm for a path they have no intention of taking. This misdirection ensures that by the time their true aim is revealed, it's often too late for anyone to effectively oppose it. They outsmart by making others chase shadows. The unsettling truth. People are uncomfortable with ambiguity. They will try to fill in the blanks, often projecting their own assumptions onto your hidden motives, assumptions which the genius can then exploit. 2. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life and destroy others if necessary. The dark core. This law acknowledges reputation as a cornerstone of power, but its dark side involves actively and sometimes ruthlessly shaping your own while being willing to tarnish or obliterate the reputations of rivals. How genius people use it. They meticulously cultivate an image, perhaps of infallibility, unpredictability, or even ruthless efficiency, that serves their long-term goals. More darkly, they understand that discrediting an opponent can be more effective than directly confronting them. They might subtly spread rumors, highlight an adversary's past failures at opportune moments, or create situations where the opponent inadvertently damages their own standing. They outsmart by controlling the narrative, making their own appear sterling while their rivals crumble. The unsettling truth. Perception often trumps reality. A carefully crafted reputation, however false, can open doors, while a damaged one can slam them shut, regardless of actual merit. 3. Law 6. Court attention at all cost. The dark core. This is about being seen and talked about, even if it means generating controversy or scandal. Obscurity is a death knell for power. How genius people use it. They understand that being ignored is worse than being criticized. They will create spectacles, make outrageous claims, or adopt a unique, even shocking, persona to stand out from the crowd. They aren't afraid of negative attention if it keeps them in the spotlight and on people's minds. They outsmart by monopolizing the social or professional stage, ensuring they're the main character in every unfolding drama, thereby diminishing others to mere supporting roles or spectators. The unsettling truth. Human attention is a finite resource. Those who capture it, regardless of the means, gain a significant advantage in influencing thought and action. 4. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This is the art of parasitic achievement. It involves exploiting the labor, talent, and creativity of others while positioning oneself as the visionary or the driving force. Asterisk how genius people use it. Asterisk they are masters of delegation, not for efficiency, but for appropriation. They identify talented individuals, assign them crucial tasks, and then skillfully present the outcomes as their own. They might subtly reframe contributions or ensure their name is most prominently associated with successful projects. They outsmart by appearing immensely capable and productive, leveraging the efforts of an invisible workforce. Asterisk the unsettling truth. Asterisk most people are more focused on doing the work than on managing the perception of who did the work. This leaves them vulnerable to credit stealing. 5. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Asterisk the dark core. Asterisk this law is about cultivating indispensability, not through genuine value, but through strategic control of resources, information, or skills that others need. Asterisk how genius people use it. Asterisk they identify a unique skill, piece of knowledge, or network access that makes them essential. They might hoard information, become the sole expert in a critical area, or create systems where others must constantly come to them for approval or resources. This isn't about mentorship. It's about creating a subtle form of bondage where their power grows as others' autonomy shrinks. They outsmart by making themselves the linchpin, ensuring that their removal would cause significant disruption. Asterisk the unsettling truth. Asterisk true independence is rare, and those who can create dependencies gain immense leverage over those who rely on them. 6. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Asterisk the dark core. Asterisk this is a deeply manipulative tactic that uses calculated acts of kindness or truthfulness to lower defenses before a more significant deception or strike. Asterisk how genius people use it. Asterisk they understand that a single act of apparent sincerity can mask a multitude of dishonest intentions. They might offer a small, truthful concession, share a seemingly vulnerable piece of information, or perform an unexpected act of generosity. This creates an illusion of trustworthiness and goodwill, making the victim more susceptible to subsequent manipulation or exploitation. They outsmart by playing on the human desire to believe in the good of others, using it as a Trojan horse. Asterisk the unsettling truth. Asterisk people are often swayed by gestures, especially unexpected ones, and will readily overlook patterns of manipulative behavior if presented with a convincing display of goodness. 7. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Asterisk the dark core. Asterisk this involves feigning camaraderie and trust to gather intelligence that can be used for personal gain or to undermine the friend. Asterisk how genius people use it. Asterisk they're adept at social chameleoning, mirroring interests and expressing empathy to gain access to inner circles and confidential information. They ask seemingly innocuous questions, listen intently, and observe vulnerabilities. This intelligence is then cataloged and later deployed strategically to anticipate moves, exploit weaknesses, or sow discord. They outsmart by turning the natural human inclination for connection into a tool for reconnaissance and sabotage. Asterisk the unsettling truth. Asterisk few people expect their friends to be covertly gathering information to use against them, making this a devastatingly effective tactic. 8. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Asterisk the dark core. Asterisk this is not about mere victory, but about annihilation. It advocates for eliminating any possibility of an enemy's recovery or retaliation. Asterisk how genius people use it. Asterisk they understand that a wounded enemy can become more dangerous if allowed to recover and seek revenge. When they decide to move against an opponent, they aim for complete and utter defeat, financially, reputationally, and politically. This sends a chilling message to other potential adversaries and ensures that the vanquished foe poses no future threat. They outsmart by being more ruthless and thorough than their opponents anticipate, refusing to leave any loose ends. Asterisk the unsettling truth, asterisk mercy can be mistaken for weakness and often leads to renewed conflict. Total destruction, though brutal, offers a grim finality. 9. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This law champions independence through emotional and political detachment. By avoiding firm alliances, one retains freedom of maneuver and can play factions against each other. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk. They cultivate an air of desirability and aloofness, making others compete for their favor or support. By not taking sides definitively, they keep all options open and can extract concessions from multiple parties. They outsmart by positioning themselves as the independent variable, the power broker whose allegiance is always up for grabs, thus maintaining control and leverage. Asterisk the unsettling truth, asterisk commitment restricts options. Those who remain uncommitted can often dictate terms to those who desperately seek their support. 10. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This law is about disarming others by feigning ignorance or incompetence, lulling them into a false sense of superiority. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk. They deliberately downplay their intelligence or capabilities, allowing their targets to underestimate them. This encourages the mark to reveal their own plans, expose their weaknesses, or become complacent. Once the target is overconfident and unguarded, the genius strikes with surprising astuteness. They outsmart by weaponizing others' arrogance against them. Asterisk the unsettling truth, asterisk people love to feel smarter than others, and this vanity can be easily exploited by those willing to play the fool temporarily. 11. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This exploits the human desire for meaning, belonging, and simple answers by creating a charismatic, often vague, but compelling belief system with the leader at its center. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk. They offer a vision, a cause, or an identity that taps into deep-seated anxieties or aspirations. They use emotionally charged language, create rituals, establish an us versus them mentality, and position themselves as the sole interpreters of a truth. They outsmart by bypassing rational thought and appealing directly to emotional needs, creating fervent loyalty that is difficult to break with logic or evidence. Asterisk the unsettling truth asterisk. In a confusing world, many crave certainty and are willing to surrender their critical thinking to a charismatic figure who promises it. 12. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This is about identifying an individual's core weakness, insecurity, or unfulfilled desire, their psychological thumbscrew, and then subtly exploiting it. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk. They are keen observers of human nature, listening for what people don't say, noticing their hidden fears, passions, or vanities. Once this thumbscrew is found, be it a need for validation, a secret shame, or an insatiable ambition, they can apply pressure to control behavior, extract favors, or manipulate decisions. They outsmart by understanding the hidden levers that drive individual actions, often better than the individuals understand themselves. Asterisk the unsettling truth asterisk. Everyone has a vulnerability, a point of emotional leverage that, if discovered, can be used to influence them. 13. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Asterisk the dark core asterisk. This law suggests that projecting an image of confidence, authority, and high self-worth, even if not entirely merited, can shape how others perceive and treat you. It's about manufacturing regal presence. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk. They carry themselves with an unshakable self-belief and demand respect through their bearing and actions. They don't wait for external validation. They anoint themselves. This confident projection often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as people tend to defer to those who seem destined for greatness or appear to possess inherent authority. They outsmart by manipulating social perceptions, understanding that behavior often follows belief. If you act like a king, people may start treating you like one. Asterisk the unsettling truth asterisk confidence is incredibly persuasive, and people are often more swayed by the appearance of competence and power than by its substance. 14. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Asterisk the dark core asterisk this law focuses on neutralizing a group's effectiveness by targeting its leader or key influencer, understanding that many groups are held together by a central figure. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk instead of battling an entire organization or movement. They identify the linchpin, the charismatic leader, the key decision maker, or the source of inspiration. By isolating, discrediting, or removing this shepherd, they can cause confusion, infighting, and demoralization among the sheep, leading to the group's collapse. They outsmart by applying focused pressure at the most critical point, achieving maximum impact with minimal widespread conflict. Asterisk the unsettling truth asterisk many groups and organizations are far more fragile than they appear, overly reliant on one or a few individuals. 15. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Asterisk the dark core asterisk while seemingly simple. This law is dark in its intent to create an aura of mystery, power, and intimidation through calculated silence and brevity. The less you say, the more profound and intimidating you appear. Asterisk how genius people use it asterisk they understand that excessive talk often reveals foolishness, insecurity, or hidden plans. By being concise and enigmatic, they force others to interpret their silence, often projecting their own anxieties or assumptions onto it. This makes them appear more powerful and in control than they might be. Silence can also make others uncomfortable, prompting them to talk more and inadvertently reveal information. They outsmart by letting others fill the void, exposing themselves while the genius remains inscrutable and in command. Asterisk the unsettling truth asterisk silence is unsettling. It implies thought, control, and hidden knowledge, making people nervous and more pliable. Conclusion: the double-edged sword of power dynamics. These 15 laws represent some of the more ethically challenging strategies within Green's framework. Genius individuals, in this context, are those who not only understand these dynamics, but are willing to employ them with a chilling pragmatism to outmaneuver others. They recognize that power is a game often played in the shadows, where perception is reality and human emotions are levers to be pulled. While studying these laws can offer profound insights into human behavior and the machinations of power, their application carries significant moral weight. The dark genius uses them to achieve their ends, often leaving a trail of manipulated individuals and fractured trust. Understanding these laws is crucial, if only to recognize when they are being used against you, or to appreciate the complex, often uncomfortable realities of human interaction and the pursuit of power. The ability to outsmart is a potent one, but its alignment with wisdom and ethics is what truly defines character.